Welcome everyone to today's webinar on personalized service, the future of service delivery. My name is Flora Yarija. I am the Customer Success Manager for Health Technologies, and I will be your moderator for today's session. We're thrilled to have you join us. Before we dive into our exciting topic on personalized service, I have a quick story to tell. I remember when I was a contact center agent for one of the financial institutions in Nigeria. And back then, personalized service basically meant calling your customers dear Flora and not dear valued customer. Fast forward to today, it's a whole different ball game. Customers expect you to meet them. Customers expect much more in terms of like personalization. They want you to anticipate their needs even before they know it. So today we're going to be exploring the latest trends in customer personalization and how businesses can leverage this to enhance their customer relationship and drive business growth. To understand the why, the what, and how on personalization, I have three industry experts who will bring their unique perspective to this discussion. The first speaker I have here is Ifesinachi Okpagu. She's the Group Head Marketing and Communications for several leading companies within Hairs Holdings Group, and she's the Chief Marketing Officer of the group's thriving insurance portfolio, Hairs Insurance Group. She has over 15 years of experience. She has built a track record of success in various roles across multiple industries, including technology, energy, philanthropy, hospitality, media and television production, and financial services. Okpagu is a thought leader in marketing and growth strategy. She's passionate about translating business concepts into actionable steps and empowering businesses in emerging markets. She's also really committed in mentoring and coaching next generation of leaders, actively supporting young women entrepreneurs through organizations such as GapX, Leap Africa Young Women's Leader, Leap Africa Young Women Leader Program, Wimbig's Mentorship Program, and the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Her impactful contribution has earned her recognition as one of the top 100 women of excellence by the Peak Performing Woman Award, one of the top 50 African corporate women by Leading Ladies Africa, and one of the top 100 career women by 9 to 5 Chick. My next speaker is Chukwudi Nwonkike. Chukwudi has over a decade of experience leading marketing strategies and driving business growth. He has worked with multiple industries, focusing on digital transformation, customer engagement, and revenue scaling. He thrives on building collaborative teams that create innovative solutions, delivering measurable results that help businesses grow and stand out in competitive markets. Throughout Nwokike's career, he has developed and executed marketing initiatives that align with both business objectives and marketing opportunities. He's worked closely with clients and partners to design customer-centric strategies that not only improve customer engagement, but also boost long-term retention and profitability. He's also really passionate about leveraging technology, data, and collaboration to solve complex challenges and create sustainable business outcomes. Now, my last industry expert is Anand Rao. Now, Rao is an accomplished financial services professional with 28 years of experience across diverse functions in the banking industry. He's currently serving as Group Head Consumer Lending at the United Bank for Africa, and also has various leadership positions since joining the bank in 2008. He has worked across all continents and has a proven track record in banking product processes and geographies. Mr. Rao is a strategic thinker, leader, professional coach, and mentor. He has built large teams and delivered large-scale operations, technology, and digital transformation programs. More so, Rao is dedicated to building and leading multicultural, geographical dispersed teams that surpass corporate expectations. He has the ability to work seamlessly and thrive in large matrix management organizations. Now, these are my industry experts, and trust me, they are gurus when it comes to personalized service and just, business growth. So whilst the discussion is going on, feel free to interact with the speakers through the comment section, share your thoughts, feedback, questions. We will, and just let us engage, and because this is going to be a very, very exciting, webinar today. So my first question is to all my speakers, and I'm going to start with Chukwudi. So Chukwudi, just a quick one. Why is personalized service becoming crucial in today's business landscape?
Thank you so much, Flora, for your introduction. Do confirm if you can hear me, just so that I know.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, that's great. Thank you, everyone. It's so glad to be here, and thanks to my co-speakers and my moderator. Great to be here. So to answer the question, can I tell you why personalized service is becoming crucial? So there's a lot of reasons why I feel so, but I'll just give one or two just for time. So the first thing I would say is, the competitive landscape of business, right? So I know we all like to think that our products are special and is the first and the best product, but sometimes if we're honest with ourselves, our products are sometimes similar to other products. And even though you come up with a special product, your competitors are there watching, and sometimes they duplicate your products, and maybe after a while they can have similar kind of service. So to make a difference, to stand out to the customer that has so much variety of options, that is digitally connected, that has so many distractions with the click of a button, personalization helps you to stand out. So usually, because of the amount of information we all receive today, a lot of people, if something is not personalized to them, they are not likely to engage in it. That's one. The second thing is, you want people to have a connection with your brand beyond your service, right? And I think that is what this whole customer service week is all about. I've gone to a lot of brands in this week, and I see how, as a customer, I feel special. Chocolates here and there, decorations, all of those fine stuff is nice, and it makes me have some affinity with the brand. I went to one brand the other day, and I was bold. I was like, where's my sweet? It's customer service week, So that kind of connection, that kind of emotional connection with your customers can be the difference in competing, in engaging, and the person actually listening to your message and understanding that that product that you have marked for that person is actually right for the person. The person is more willing to accept through personalization. So that's just a couple of reasons for me. I'll let my co-speakers speak on that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chukwudi. It was really interesting to hear your perspective. And I just wanted to hear from Ife Sinachi. So why do you think personalized service is becoming crucial in today's business landscape?
All right. Thank you for the question. And it's a pleasure to be here. It's also a pleasure to be here with formidable leaders in the industry. I would start from, I would illustrate, I'll give an example of something that is so relatable, right? So from time to time, I recently, started paying attention to doing my nails. Before I wouldn't pay so much attention. And I'm using this story because it's so relatable. I'm sure there are certain women on the call as well. And I recall that I started using this service, right? And interestingly, I think the first time I used them, I went there, did everything. 3 weeks later, I got an email. Hello, Ife Sinachi. I hope you enjoyed the service. Remember to do this and do that. Don't dip your nails in water, blah, blah, blah. For someone who obviously just started, it was a blessing. But you know what I really liked? They said, it's been 3 weeks since you last came. By now, your nails should be due for, is it renewal or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Should be due for, a revamp. Exactly. And so if you come in now, we will sign you up on our loyalty program and blah, 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 blah. See, between you and me, what do you think I would have done? Obviously, what you're thinking. I took, I definitely reached out to say, yes, I'm interested. Yeah. There's,
Yes.
there are many services like that, that have decided to take on personalization, to understand their customers, to feel the need in their customers' lives, to feel that, problem that they have. For me at the time, it was, that problem of forgetting, an appointment that I was supposed to do my nails. It's something very trivial, but it's something that has kept me coming back over and over to the same service, right? And even now, when someone says, "Why don't you try this?" I'm like, you know what? No, these guys, they get it, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
coming down to the question, why is personalization important? Number one, happy customer. It's as easy as that. That's the heart of everything. And when the customer is happy, the business too is happy because guess what? The customer will always keep coming back, right?
Yes.
Secondly, increased revenue, or let me say increased lifetime spend of the customer. So instead of the customer coming once and leaving forever and ever, never to come back again, the person keeps coming back, over and over, and even recommends you to others. So increased revenue. And of course, number three, I would also say that the business also stands the chance to get emotional and positive emotional affinity. Let me put it that way. Positive affinity as well, because you are now known as a customer or a business that puts the customer first in everything. So those are the three reasons why personalization is so important in today's world, especially where there are many brands competing for our attention.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ifesnat. I totally related to the nails story. Totally related to it. I'm wondering, Anna, do you have anything to just add to why you think personalized service is crucial in today's business landscape?
Yeah, thank you, Flora, and good afternoon to all our customers, colleagues, and supporters across the group. Okay, so happy customer service week to all of you. And like Chukudi said, looking for chocolates everywhere. That's the emotional connect. Okay, and taking off from where Ifisinachi left, right, on the nails. If I were a banker, I will see that she has used her card in a nail studio. Then I will say that, Madam, thank you. These are the other 5 nail studios where you can go. This is the kind of discount you will get. Okay, so that, that is where, like Ifisinachi says, deepening the customer's understanding of the customer is very key, right? So that is customer experience is now the new battleground. Whether you call it differentiation, emotional connect, or increasing the trust and transparency, right? Customers don't want to be part of the masses. They all want to be part of, everyone should know me personally, right? Today, technology has enabled that to happen. I know who Chukudi is, I know who Flora is, and I know who Ifisinachi is, what her likes and dislikes. So that's why personalization is where people are now clamoring for. So it's not an option anymore. It is, I think, a existential need for every organization to focus on it.
Thank you so much, Anna, for such an insightful, feedback. Just whilst I have you, I wanted to now ask you another question. So, how can businesses balance the need for personalized service with operational efficiency?
Wow. Yes. It's the balance, like you said, right? The balance, the need of the hour. A lot of people get enamored by this whole personalization concept. Oh, we need technology, we need people, we need a lot of systems, we need AI, we need machine learning and all these things. It's very simple. First is have operational efficiency also comes from the way you understand the customer, so that the people who serve the customers also understand customers. So for me, it is a cultural thing, right? Personalization is a culture. That means if you develop a customer centric culture, that is where the entire chain of organization is focused on serving the customers. Now, how do you balance personalized service with operational efficiency, right? First is you need to ensure that you understand the customer across all the channels which is using. What I call as 720-degree view of the customer. A lot of people look at 360-degree view of the customer, but it is not 360-degree, which is enough, because today customer is not only transacting with you, he has so many bank accounts, so many social media activities which are going on. How do you harvest data across the footprints where customer is leaving you? Okay, you can't say that you came to my website and this is what I have done, right? So one is the omni-channel, you unify the data, then automate. So you don't have to have hundreds of people scanning through that. You need to segment your customers. Today, technology can enable you to micro-segment the customers, create the right personalized communication. Today, we have Chukudi from Netcore. Their system enables you to scale that very high. You can personalize emails content depending on what they are doing with it. Suppose I like email, I will be reached through the emails. Suppose I like SMS, I can be reached through SMS. Suppose I like push notifications or web notification, I can. So I think, and the second part is you should empower your staff with the right tools at the front end. Personalization doesn't mean only technology, right? It's also ability for our front end staff to actually provide that service. How can they provide service if they don't have the information at their fingertips? So we need to equip them with the tools. Then obviously, focus on data. So data will help you to scale. And then we need to collaborate across all the teams, because today the data exists in different departments. Marketing people have certain data, operations have certain data, front end have certain data. Now, how does all these units collaborate and ensure that they share the insights and data and see customer as a one unified individual, not as a broken piece? Who is coming to a branch, he's being dealt with in a similar way. And if he's going to a call center, he's treated in a different way. No, I need to have the history of everything. That is where unification and collaboration comes into picture. So I think if you can invest in technology, have a good strategy, and I'm sure the personalization can gradually scale up on this path. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you very much. Whilst you were talking, you mentioned AI and you also talked about data. So my next question is to Chukudi. Now, we know that people have always said that AI and machine learning is the way for personalization. So my question would be, what roles do AI and machine learning actually play in delivering personalized service at a scale?
Okay, thanks, Flora, for that question. If I want to piggyback on what Mr. Anandra has spoken about, he spoke about like one of the ways that we can help, that we can be able to do personalization in our organization is through technology, data, and empowering people, right? And I think AI has a role to play in these three major things. So of course, AI is technology. But one thing about personalization is data. Data is a pillar of personalization. And it depends on how far you want to go, right? How much do you want to know the customer? Some people just know my name, my date of birth, whether I'm married or not. While some people want to know my favorite color, they want to know, what football team that I like. They want to know what social network accounts that I have, which is good. So the more data you have, the more relevant you can be with personalization. But there might be a little problem. What happens when you get all that data? And what happens when you have that data for 1 million customers? What are you going to do? So that is where AI comes into play. AI can help you empower the marketer to have an understanding of the data. It can help you turn your data to unstructured to reveal insights that can be impactful for your business. Let me give you an example. So I have data of all the transactions that have been done by all my customers in the past 90 days. And now I want to know which are my best customers. Now, without going through Excel sheets, doing some interpolations, calculations, segmentation, that's how you find out who your best customers is. AI will do this for you within seconds, right? And it empowers the marketer so that the person can focus on more creative things. I think sometimes what impacts creativity is that people are doing so many manual things, and so people are doing so many tedious things. So AI helps you to remove the manual thing out of it. It helps you to remove the tedious nature of the thing, and it helps you to empower the marketer to take a decision quickly. Like, for example, if now work with Netcore Cloud, let me tell you what AI is doing for our customers today. Let me give you a practical example. We have an AI feature called app churn prediction. Now, a lot of brands don't like customers to churn from their app. And sometimes it's only when they churn that because you can't predict the future. unless you have AI. So what would AI do for you? Our AI platform will tell you these are the number of customers who are most likely to churn in your app in the next 30 days. Why don't you engage them to prevent them from churning? After you do that, the AI will also tell you these are the people that you saved and these are the people that you could not save. This is a simple, practical example where AI is preventing you from losing customers. The other things AI can do for you, what words resonate with the people? Like, for example, with Madam Ife Sinachi, the example that she gave with her nails. I'm sure there are some kind of English that she's not going to like, some kind of words. If they tell you, oh, dear human, please go and fix your body parts in our store, you're going to be like, what is that, right? You need to find a message that resonates with the person. Now, imagine finding a message that resonates with 1 million people at scale. There's no way you can do that. One message resonates, but AI can help you craft the best message for that person, that person will feel that connection and make that person want to come back to your brand. And we can talk about AI for so long, but because of time, these are just the few things that Netcore is doing with AI to improve that personalization experience and empower marketers to do more for their customers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chukwudi. Thank you. I mean, I really love the way all these questions are just coming in. So you've talked about marketers now, and I'm going to throw my next question to Ife Sinachi. And I think my question is, how does personalized service intersect with personalized marketing, and how can businesses leverage both?
All right. I think that there are two peas in a pod, service and marketing. Somehow in fact, there's a handshake. One is, I would say, more experience led, which is of course the service. It's like something you feel, right? Even though you're getting, value for money. And the other is kind of message led. It's what you hear or what you see that then convinces you to experience the other. So there are two peas in a pod. But in terms of breaking it down, how can there be a stronger handshake between both of them? I think it goes back to exactly what Chukwudi and Anand have spoken about earlier. The fact that data is very important in terms of understanding customers. You can't, or in terms, if you want your messaging to be more efficient, more laser focused, then definitely you need to listen to the customers. You need to ensure that you're understanding the customers. And again, for you to also give personalized service to the customer. So data is definitely important. Ensuring that data is clean, ensuring that data is gathered at all, that there's a very good foundation for data gathering and of course, interpretation. Second, I would also say in terms of product development, there's definitely a handshake between both. Personalized service cannot happen if you don't understand your customers in such a way that you are providing solutions to problems, right? And so that is extremely important in the product development, ensuring that you are delivering the right service, the right place, the right time, the right messaging to the right person. So that's also very critical. And then thirdly, I would also say that ensuring that you are selling solutions and not products. And I will explain. It's so easy for us to fall into that trap of saying we have a product to sell, right? However, if you replace that word product or whatever it is and replace it with the problem it addresses, it becomes more personalized, right? It becomes something that integrates into someone's life. So I think that that's where both of them have a handshake, ensuring that we're able to deliver solutions to people and not just, oh, I have a product to sell. No, it's not about the business. Putting the customers first and putting the customers at the heart of what we do is very important. And I would give you a very brief example. It's definitely the handshake between personalized service and personalized marketing that enables Health Insurance, for instance, to see that there was a problem with women. Men were getting, or everybody was getting motor insurance, but women, came up, or based on data, we could see that women needed something more personalized. Several of them would be driving maybe late at night, their cars would break down on the road, right? And then they would need, help for that. And they asked the question, would insurance cover this? Could insurance cover this? And that was what, led us to bring up the Hamoto plan, which is really focused on women. And there are many instances like that where we really look at data, ensuring that we personalize both messaging and service to people to deliver the solutions that would address a certain problem in their life. Thank you.
I absolutely love the answer, if it's not, especially when you said, it's not about selling a product, it's about selling a solution. That is so key in today's market because there's a lot of products. We have loads and loads of products in Nigeria and even Africa as a continent. And it's very key that businesses start to focus on solutions and not just pushing out their products. So I think my next question, and you can lead it if it's not, since I already have you, is what are the challenges businesses face when they're implementing personalized service? If you can mention a few, and how can they overcome them?
Okay, sure. I think the number one problem is what maybe most businesses in Nigeria face: data. That is the number one foundation, and I think the heart of all the challenges we're having in this entire personalization discussion. Ensuring that we are gathering the right data. In fact, clean data is so critical, but it's such a huge challenge because, first of all, you even need to understand what kind of data should I be collecting for this kind of business, right? And then do we have the systems and the channels that can support, the housing, the warehousing of this kind of data? Ensuring also that we're able to structure data in a way that we can pull and interpret whenever we need to, analyze whenever we need to. And again,
Yes.
the scaling of such data. Do we have enough systems that can, ensure that as we are increasing our number of customers and the like, do we have the scale to support this? So I think that one of the most important things in terms of personalization is data gathering, data interpretation. The second thing is just, I would say, the awareness and even the implementation of personalization. And many years ago, in fact, many years ago, there was something that I used to do when I get a new laptop. I remember that. Did you ever hear of what if then what? Did you ever hear of that?
Yes,
I
yes,
don't know.
yes,
It
yes.
was a plugin many years ago. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a very simple plugin, but it would help to kind of automate a lot of things, right? And so even back in the day, not many people knew about it. Hopefully today, there are more people that, of course, understand the need for automation and the like. So number two challenge definitely is automating things, and not even over automating things, but automating in a way that is functional and that, it delivers on good value. And I think my last point would be in terms of just culture, the culture of personalization. Do we know that we need to? Do the customers know, right down to, no matter the level, whether you are high up there or, down there, whichever one, does everybody in the organization know that they need to personalize and that it actually enhances the business? So those are the three points that I would bring up regarding this question.
Thank you so much, Ifesinachi. I don't know if Annette has anything to add to what challenges he thinks businesses face when implementing personalized service and how they can overcome them. Mr. Annette.
Okay, thank you, Flora, and thank you, Ifesinachi. I think in addition to what Ifesinachi said, the way I see it, right, first is business has to align its objectives to personalization. If business objectives are not aligned to personalization, right, most of the initiatives will fail. You need to be clear. Why do you want to personalize? What's your data points? What you're looking for? Because sometimes if you're not clear about it, then you get overwhelmed with everything. And of course, the data is the foundation on which this entire superstructure of personalization has to be built. Okay. And one key point which is emerging now is data privacy and security concerns. Customers are very wary of what data is being collected for them. That's why whenever you go to so many websites, you have to keep giving consents. And that's a good practice where customer is aware that I'm collecting this data and this will be used for the XYZ purposes. This is a big challenge. If you don't invest in data privacy and security, obviously you need to have robust data security protocols and ensure that you're complying with all the relevant regulations. Like a bank like UBA is in 24 jurisdictions. We need to really understand what data protection laws and privacy laws in each of these countries are. Then have our entire governance models tuned to that. That's very important. So data privacy. And I think the other part is cost. A lot of people get overwhelmed by the cost because the moment you talk about data, systems, and all that, there is a cost. But you don't have to worry. If you have objectives, then you can easily look at the cost of implementation. You can start small and incremental personalization efforts, and then kill campaigns. Okay, personalized email campaigns, personalized offers, and all that, for which you already have the data. You don't have to sweat for it. So that is where I think, some of these are, and resistance within the organization. People don't want to change. People don't want to collect all the data. People don't want to input data into the system. How are you going to get? So as Ifisinaji said, we need to build that culture of data. Everybody should know that this is a very key element. It's like a data is like to turn it into fuel, right? Which we can use. So that refineries have to be set within the bank. So there's no point in telling I have got, say, I know Ifisinachi's 3,000 data labels or data points. What do you do with those data points? Yes, we are producing crude, but how do you take that crude and refine it and take it out as a spirit which can be used, right? So that's the insights. That is the data insights. I think these are the challenges. And ultimately, I think return on investment is very critical. One has to keep focusing on what am I getting out of it, have the nice metrics, and ensure that, it's being tracked. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anat. I don't know if Chukwudi has anything to add to this, challenges that hasn't been said.
All right,
Do you
so
want to add
I
to
believe
it?
everybody has covered all the challenges, but I'll just come from it in a different way, I think one challenge I've seen. So I'm going to talk about it as a vendor implementing customer journey frameworks for organizations, right? So in my example, the person is willing and the person wants to do it, but there are still challenges that are coming through, right? So first thing is picking the wrong technology, right? Like Mr. Anand said, yes, you want to do personalization, but you need to have objectives. And if your objectives is not tied to the technology, it doesn't make any value. Everybody wants to ride a private jet, but even though you have a private jet, you cannot ride it in Ojo Elegba because you still enter downfall traffic. So let me just put it in that way. So you need to know what your objectives are. And based on your objectives, you choose the platform. Then another thing I've found that is a problem is silos, people and data silos, right? I guess both Ifesinachi and Anantral spoke about it. People silos. Marketing doesn't know what contact center is doing. Marketing does not give feedback back to product team. Contact center does not give feedback back to product team about how to improve the with contact center. A contact center does not know the product that marketing sent that is making them make the inquiry. So these are organizational silos, and this can be solved by having unified data platforms and all of that, right? So you have organizational silos of people, then you have data silos of people not making sense of the data. We all understand that data is important, right? But also too, it's not only about collecting the data, as we all agree, but it's about making use of the data and understanding the data. If, for example, I have a brand with multiple channels, email, mobile app, physical visit in the branch, and the email channel does not know what happened in the branch, it's only going to be minimally effective. And to the customer does not care of all this technology. As far as the customer is concerned, I'm your customer. I am special. You figure it out. So the data silos play a big role. Then, something I want to hammer on is collecting data without using it, right? And also overthinking your strategy. So now there's one fallacy there's one fault that I see with organizations sometimes when they want to go on this digital transformation journey, they overcook it, right? You want to do everything, to personalize everything. But I think it's Anand that said it, start small. You can first start. Personalization has different levels. Yes, I said I'll speak about that. So there's demographic personalization. That is what the brand has about you. I opened an account, you know my name, you know my age, you know my date of birth, all this stuff, right? So that is on one side, demographic personalization. What am I using it to do? Okay, you know my name and age. You don't even tell me happy birthday. Or you send me a message, you say, dear customer. Start from there. Then we also have transactional based or business relationship personalization. What do I buy from you? What is my business relationship with you? Am I a HNI? Am I a low income earner? Are you selling mortgage to somebody who has 1,500 naira in his bank account for past 2 years? That is business relationship personalization. Then the final one is channel-based personalization. So channel-based personalization means how is the person interacting in the places that you have given the person? How is the person reacting on your mobile? How is the person reacting on your website, right? So if you do not have a holistic strategy that considers these 3 kinds of personalization, start with one and grow bigger. And you will find out that along the line, you have a lot of fantastic campaigns that are actually, customers are raving about it and they are talking about it on social media. So pick the right technology. Make sure that you don't overcomplicate things and beware of data silos, and you should provide a rewarding customer experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Chikudi. Now that I've got you on technology, what emerging technology should companies be watching out for to enhance personalized service delivery in the next 5 years? Chikudi, you're muted.
So there are many trends of things of how customers, of things that will help, Okay, so the first one, let me talk about 3 things majorly. First thing is CDPs, customer data platforms. The idea of a customer data platform is the brand has different data sources. How can the customer data platforms teach all the sources to tell the story of the customer, right? So that when you want to, because one of the pillars of personalization is segmentation, right? You need to know what customer segment the person is, and you need as much data to know the customer segment. Let me give you an example. You might want to send a marketing campaign to people who open your emails, right? But what if you add one more layer and say, I want to send to people who open my emails and who launch my mobile app as well? With Netcore, you can do something like that. So in order for you to understand these 2 different touch points, customer data platform can help you do that. It can help to remove the problem of data silos and data collection and understanding of your customers. That's one thing. The second thing is AI and natural language processing. So personalization needs to be done at scale. I'm sure we all agree with that. If you want to really personalize, you cannot use human beings to do it. If not, you need to increase your staff strength by times 4x, and it might not be profitable. So what we have is we have natural language processing. We have been seeing a lot of advancements in chatbots, in natural language processing because of AI. So back in the day, if you are talking to a chatbot, you 100% know this is a chatbot because the guy will be moving funny. But today, because of AI, NLPs, and all of that, chatbots are now having a more human face, right? So these chatbots and the way they process languages are now even able to understand context in the inferences in the messages. So this is a game changer, and it's going to change how contact center and customer support happens today. The final thing I will talk about is, IoT, that's Internet of Things. So there is a lot of devices now that are connected that have not been, well, I was born in 1986. By the time I was born, there were a lot of connecting that was not possible, right? Now, today, a lot of devices are being connected. I have a smartwatch that is recording my steps, my heart rate, my blood pressure, everything, telling me where I'm walking around in the whole Lagos, right? Now, you have more data points. So Internet of Things to make things more interesting. Before, I needed to send you an email. I needed to do 1 or 2 things. Now, can I give you a phone? Can I give you a wearable? Can I do a smart home device? So there's so much opportunities to be collecting different kinds of data. So these are the 3 major things that I see are game changers in personalization, and will help businesses go more granular in the customer profile, understand what they want, so that if they say something, they sell something, or the customer thinks of your industry, they would remember you first.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chikudi. And I'm going to piggyback because I know that a big part of the organization is its people. And I'm not going to piggyback on what Anat had said earlier about, you need to empower your team. And I'm going to ask Anna a question directly. So how can businesses equip their team to deliver personalized service?
Yeah, so I think the first point is, are you really customer centric? I think we need to focus a customer centric culture in the organization. Okay, that is when personalization becomes a way of life. Okay, so why it is important is because where employees really focus on customer, they are not focusing on like your salespeople, they are not focused on your products. Like Ifisinachi said, we need to sell value, right? If you focus on value, that is when you see from customer lens. The first thing is for me is all creating that customer centric, then empowering our data at the touch points where they're available, right? Without that, not be able to do that. Like Chukudi spoke about customer data platform, CRMs, and 720-degree system view of customers. Customers should, I mean, the staff should have those things, right? That is another point. Then you need to leverage technology as much as you can to assist you in personalization. Then complete comprehensive training to everybody. If people are not trained, they will not be able to use it. In some of our group companies, the way they handle customers are using AI. So when an email comes or a tweet comes or an Instagram post comes, the AI is able to scan it and guide you with what you need to do. Okay, so there is consistency across. You don't need to depend on human being anymore. So the AI will tell you that customer is upset with his dispute, or he's not happy with his POS, or he's not happy with his card, he's not happy with using the transfers and all that. And then immediately you can respond to him. And we are also going a lot more proactive. So I think technology important. Then autonomy and empowerment, right? Let me say why it is important is empowering not only with the data, but also empowering our staff to take personalized decisions at the point of service points. Suppose you go to a branch and customer, right? You should immediately customize. You can't be hiding under policies and procedures and saying, I can't do this. Okay, so that comes from customer-centric culture. So you need to encourage autonomy. And again, at the end of the day, collaboration is very, very important. And then you have to ensure the world is moving towards real time. I mean, people are getting used to Netflix and Amazons and others, right? TikToks and all that. The moment you start seeing something, it starts throwing up recommendations, which are fairly accurate based on your browsing history, based on your, movie watching. Everything comes up based on your shopping experience. You get those things, and then there is a way psychology works here. So the consumer behavior is adopted. People are looking at your brain powers and neurons and neurons, everything. So everything is a neuroscience now, right? That is how you look at yourself. So I think, again, coming back to my first point which I made, you should have goals clarity. Any business which doesn't have personalization goals will not be able to invest in it and go and achieve that. So I think with the empowering employees, providing access to the right data and tools, and then having a customer first mindset. Customer first mindset is very, very important. Then the business can ensure that all the teams are prepared to deal very effectively and provide some meaningful personalized service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. That was very rich, and I'm totally enjoying myself. I'm learning so much. I think for the CEOs, the CIOs, the supervisors, the team leads on the call, we are all curious to know that how can we measure? So say we start on the implementation, this personalized service journey. How do we measure the effectiveness of these strategies that we've launched? And I would like Ipe to just come in and just let us know. So how do businesses measure effectiveness of their personalized service strategies?
Okay. So in terms of measuring personalization, I think I would use the term the devil is in the detail, right? The first thing, obviously, is one of the goals of personalization is, are we able to retain customers? It's easy and I usually say in marketing, in fact, I look at marketing as a funnel. So think about a funnel, right? A funnel is like a V shape. You have the top line, at the top is very wide, then it's very narrow at the bottom. So marketing helps fill the top. and you get all the people to know about your company, about your brand, even to try it, at the point of trial, you're going down the funnel. And at the very end, when people go through that funnel, they become customers. Now, the question is, are you able to retain customers later on? So the person has tried your product or the person has enjoyed your service, right? Are you able to come or engage with the customer, deliver service in a personalized way, in such a way that the person comes back? Let's go back to the very first example I gave in the beginning, the very relatable example, which is my nails, right? So if I tried them and I just went back home and maybe someone talked with me about it or I didn't quite enjoy it, that would have been a lost opportunity, right? But the business was able to deliver personalized service, was able to understand my pain points that this lady will forget to come back, right? And they were able to send something. So I was able to come back. So that's very, important. So number one, in terms of measurement, retention rates I feel is one of the most important metrics to measure in terms of personalization. And then second is satisfaction. Customers, are they satisfied with your service? That's how you know whether you're delivering something great or not. So retention, one, and retention, maybe you can actually set a goal at the beginning of the year to say, you know what, through personalization, we want to achieve 40% retention, 50, 60, 70, whatever, right? And then in terms of customization, customer satisfaction, there are different metrics that you can use to measure it. One of my favorite, obviously, is the customer satisfaction score, which really asks, did you enjoy the service or you did not? And gives you a scale for you to also look at whether it's good or not. So those two metrics, I feel, are the very important metrics in terms of measuring whether personalization works. Well, let me add one more. I think the third one is in terms of, you mentioned something earlier, operational efficiency. So the goal of a business at the end of the day is that at some point you're becoming so operational, not just in terms of the delivery of the service, but in terms of managing your costs, right? So at some point, your costs should be optimized in such a way that you're getting more value in the long term than what you are spending. So if you're looking at your entire, cost optimization over time, you should be able to see like an optimization in it in terms of that metric.
Thank you so much, Ifesinachi. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to start with, since I have you here, I'm just going to start, I'll just ask this, my last question for the webinar today and say, what advice would you give companies looking to start or improve their service delivery by integrating personalization?
Okay, thank you for giving me a tough question and pinpointing me to start with the answering. So I think the very first one I would say is businesses should just learn to stay ahead of the curve because technology keeps changing and keeps changing very, very quickly. We were talking about AI before, right? AI, everybody, AI. Now, in fact, whatever discussions we had was just like kindergarten stage because now we've gone to university stage of AI. We're talking about generative AI. We're talking about, real life, robotics, right? And things will change very, very quickly. So I think for businesses, they have to stay ahead and know when to jump in. It might not necessarily pay customers or businesses to be late adopters at this point. I think adopting early, and when I mean adopting, I don't mean just take, copy and paste, but understanding the new technology and how to enhance or, leverage it for your business to enhance your operational, delivery is very important. So staying ahead of the curve is number one. Number two, I think for businesses, especially, I would start with small businesses. I would say that small businesses also need to, also set a target for themselves, deliberately so, because personalization is not something you wake up and just decide to do. It takes a lot of deliberate intent, being intentional in terms of setting your goal. So saying, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to integrate this at this point and the like, and this is the outcome. I really like, whenever, I look at strategy, I really like to see what the outcome, whether they are specific and deliverable and measurable, right? So ensuring that you put it in as part of your plan, so that by the time you get to execution, you're actually executing one after the other. And then, of course, for large businesses, staying ahead of the curve is definitely important, but it's also important that as you scale, that you are carrying everybody along, meaning it's not a personalization is not a decision for the top guys alone, no. It's not a decision for management alone, because guess what? The people who are implementing, everything that you've talked about are not necessarily sitting down at the decision-making table. And so if you don't carry every single body along, then you pretty much are just, showing up really nice flip charts in fancy air-conditioned rooms, but not delivering on the results. So I think that for big businesses, it's very important that as they get bigger, that they carry everybody along, that they implement a culture of personalization, and everybody understands the value that it adds to the business. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just very quickly, because we do need to give time for our audience to ask questions. Anna, do you have any service delivery integrating personalization?
So for me, again, right, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. Again, I would like to reiterate, being customer-centric and focus on creating value, not just sales, has to be the foundation. Any organization which is not customer-centric in practice, okay, publicly everybody says we are customer-centric, but every process, policy, procedures are not customer-centric. Okay, so there won't be any focus on it. Then understand your customer deeply is very, very important. And the way you segment your customer, the way you develop the personas of the customer. Today, technology can enable you to do micro segmentation. It's not a standard saying you are a young person, Gen Z and all that. You can do micro segmentation based on my likes and dislikes. Okay, same thing, personas. We can create a whole lot of new personas and all. Then we need to leverage our data effectively and start small and scale gradually, because it is a very overwhelming thing. Everybody talks about it. There's a lot of hype on it. But if you don't start somewhere, you test, you learn, and you reiterate again and again. So that is what you have to have. I mean, a test and learn approach. But again, for me, data privacy is very important. You need to build trust, because once customer lose trust in you, and as the economies grow, customers are very careful about their data, whether it is their financial data, medical data, or their lifestyle data and all that. We need to be very, very careful that we have systems in place, protection, especially in a financial services industry. You need to be very, very careful about the privacy, and we need to build trust. Otherwise, we lose it. Then obviously technology, invest in AI and other tools. Then omni-channel. Omni-channel is a very critical important, where unified customer experience is what is lacking today. Some of us excel in various channels, but there's no unified way. If a customer is moving from one channel to another channel, he's always frustrated. So that omni-channel personalization is important. And I think personalization is no longer a nice to have a feature, but it's a key differentiator in building customer loyalty and competitive advantage. I think as technology becomes more and more integrated into our lives, I think people will demand more personalized experiences, and then that will push all of us to innovate far better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you. Wow, the time has gone so far, and there's a lot of, we have a lot of questions. So I'm just going to quickly jump into the question. And I think since I have you now, Anna, I'm just going to show the first question to you. So one of our attendees said, you talked a lot about leveraging technology and automating things, but how can companies effectively balance technology and the human touch when delivering personalized service experiences?
Yeah, so it's a very important question, because at the end of the day, the human touch still remains, okay, and which is a powerful force, right? That's why I said you should empower your employees. First is use technology to handle routine tasks and free up your staff for complex interactions. Okay, chatbot can do XYZ, even with the best AI. But even with empathy and other things, right? The best practice is use AI at the initial levels and then let it go to the human. That's what we do sometimes when AI is transferred to a human agent. Then I think you also need to humanize automated interactions. Chukudi was talking about personalized, and you need to be context aware of messaging. That is what helps, because if you don't understand the customer's context, you cannot reply. So that is where you need to really, as you're learning more about the customer, you need to personalize and automate those interactions. Then there has to be a very seamless hands-off between technology and human agents. That's what we do. A lot of chat, after some time, they move over to human agents, like I said. And then again, blend AI with, augmented human decisions. AI is not everything, but there is a lot of human decision making which is there. But we can assist our staff or our people to assist that way. So those are things which we require to balance both. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, so just to my audience, because we have a lot of questions, we might not be able to take all the questions, but we will send you, we'll send you the responses. So all the questions that I've asked, we will send them to you. So just really wanted to just take it out there for our audience. And I think, so my next question is to Chukwudi, and this is from Mr. Jain. He said, personalization of services can have unintended consequences, such as limiting exposure to new ideas or reinforcing existing biases. How do we strike a balance between tailored experiences and open-ended exploration? So this is to Mr. Chukwudi.
Thank you so much, Flora. That question is a very, very good question, and it's quite a difficult one, but I'm going to try and attempt it. Yes, so that's the future of personalization. The more you do it, you could also fall into troubles and gaps like these biases that the person has asked this question on. So I can give like 3 strategies off the top of my head, right, that can help you not to get into that circle of bias, right? First thing is periodic content refresh, right? So try different things. Personalization should be experimental. You should not be a one-trick pony, right? So try and be experimental. Like you would have your biases. You would think that, oh, because I have done this kind of particular segmentation, this campaign should work, this product sales should work, and all of that. You need to find a way to test those biases. And there are some things you can do. Another strategy you can use is control groups and experimental testing, right? So try to do things like split testing, A/B testing for your campaigns or for your messages, right? So that you can try different things because you don't know what you would try that would work better. Personalization and automation is a very creative process. If you find out that the same automation that you have been using, you've been using it for 3 years, please pinch yourself and stop it. You should try and refresh it. Another thing, experimentation testing that works is control groups, right? So you have this bias. You say if you personalize in this way, all these people will buy. Why not send to 90% of your customers and 10% should be on a control group so that you see whether that your effort really is the one that moves the needle. Then the final thing is feedback, two-way communication. Try and change your channels from one-way communication to two-way communication. That's the whole point of personalization in the first place. Discuss with me like you know me and allow me to respond, right? So for example, today they have what we call interactive emails that we do with Netcom, right? Where somebody can actually submit a message right inside the email without clicking on reply. You see your template, you reply on the message. Things like this can give you feedback as to whether what you are doing is correct, right? And I'll leave with one final example. There's a brand that calls me, maybe I hope one of their members are here. There's a brand that is always calling me Christine. Says my name is Christine. Now, one thing that is worse than not personalizing is personalizing wrongly, right? Because there's a thin line between accuracy and credibility. If you are not accurate, how could you be credible? Because me, I work in technology, I can overlook some things because I know how technology feels, right? But a lot of people are very strict on such things, right? So you need to ensure that your data is accurate and you need to test that it's accurate. And sometimes the only way you can find out if your data is accurate or not is through a feedback mechanism. So start moving to channels that allow customers to respond to you. Promotional SMS, customer cannot respond. You've just, let me not say what I want to say, but I feel you just shouted at all your customers because they have nothing to say about that, but they will listen to the message. Think of channels like WhatsApp. WhatsApp allows two-way communication. Think of AMP interactive emails. It allows two-way communication. That feedback mechanism can help break some bias, and sometimes your customers can give you your best ideas. I'll
Thank
leave it
you.
at that.
Thank you very much, Chukwudi. Thank you so much. So, I mean, unfortunately, we can't take all the questions.
Okay, I don't know whether we have time, but I want to add one or two points to what Chukwudi said.
We don't have time. We just have 1 minute left and we need to close. However, for anybody in our audience who wants to start their personalization journey and need Hess Technologies help, please send us an email at support@hesstechnologies.com and we would connect you with Mr. Anat, Mr. Chukwudi, and Mrs. Ife Sinachi Okpagu. And, we can start that journey together. Because this is a very robust topic, and I know there's a lot of questions, but we can't take them today, unfortunately. But please send us an email at support@hesstechnologies.com, and then we will respond to you, and we can also do a free consultation to support you. And you can have a very open-ended meeting with Mr. Anat. So I hope you gain valuable insights on how to start or refine your personalization strategies. I know that I have. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you to all my speakers. I really appreciate you I thank you so much, Anat. Thank you, Anat Rao, for joining us. Thank you, Chukwudi Nwonkike, and thank you, Ife Sinachi Okpagu. I know that I enjoyed myself. I have so many questions, and I'll reach out to you personally to answer. Let me just leave it for my audience. So thank you so much for joining us. And, do have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you to my audiences too. Bye.
All right, thank you.
Bye then. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.